Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of A Bot to Talk About, the lighthearted strategic podcast built around three beats: the moment AI clicked for our guest, the model that actually sticks with them, and their mandate, what to do this week and beyond. Now, joining us today is, well, I call her the queen of high level outside of the US and specifically in the Philippines. It's Jaycee Tan. She's a high level educator, a community leader helping agencies scale with automation and clear systems, but more importantly, a visible champion for Filipino operators, specifically in the AI and SaaS space. So we're going to get her moments that AI clicked for her, break down her model, and then her mandate that she's going to be able to share with us today. So we're super excited to have Jaycee on board. Jaycee, welcome to A Bot to Talk About.
Yeah, well, I'm super excited to be on this call today. And again, Kartik, thank you so much for having me live today. I really appreciate the space and excited for our conversation today, especially that we're going to talk about AI and it's 2026. So, yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Happy New Year. Looking forward to what's to come for you guys in 2026. Now, I've given everybody a 30-second overview of you and in your experience and what you do, but I'd love if you can sort of give us your version of CC Tan.
Yeah, I was really honored when you mentioned Queen of High Level in the Philippines. I kind of want to just take it in, right? You just go ahead and accept what people tells you. But really, what I've been doing is I've been teaching high level in the Philippines, specifically for freelancers, SaaSpreneurs, like aspiring SaaSpreneurs in the Philippines who are business owners. And I've been doing that exactly over, like right now, it's been over a year, but I've been in the high level space since 2019. And yeah, I've been focusing more on the education, the coaching side, as well as the consulting side, because I also help other agencies build their SaaS from scratch. So that's basically what I have been doing for a while. I'm sorry about that. Like I think it's my
No,
phone ringing.
that's okay. No worries. It just means you're important. That's good. No, that's really exciting. And as I said, we're super excited to have you on this podcast. When I was thinking
Me
about
too.
who the different people I would like to invite and I would like to ask, yeah, you were definitely on the top of the list because I know the amazing work that you've done in the last 18 months, especially since I've been in this space and just watching it from afar. And obviously, we've worked collaboratively together for a short period as well. I know how much work you have put into this. So it was a no-brainer for me to to ask the question, and you graciously accepted, which is amazing as well. So, all right, let's dive into the moment that it hit you and the specific moment that made you realize that AI-powered systems had to be the core to how agencies operate today. Like, what was that moment for you? Like that pin drop moment for you to say, you know what? Oh, it's a penny drop moment for you to say, you know what? This is the way we need to go.
I think it's right after closing my business. Actually, I was really hesitant to jump into AI before. It was around, I would say around 2023 that, the talk about AI is already in there, like people talking about they want to switch to AI. Like I said, in the beginning, I was so hesitant, all because all of our business rely on manpower, cold calling, SMS marketing. It's all manual. It's all people having to like assist our clients in doing all of these marketing stuff. And then I think I realized that it's time for me to jump on. It's when I literally lost a lot of clients from AI. So in 2023, what I remember like first quarter of the year is when I start hearing a lot of clients saying, "Hey CC, I apologize. We need to like pause our engagement. That's because we want to try this for our business." And then I was so shocked because we're literally losing like 5, 10 clients a month. We used to have over 100 clients. And at the time that AI was there, we're losing 5 to 10 clients. And then in 2024, we've lost all of them. I mean, for me, I think it's not more like when did you realize? I think it's really just slap in the face that, hey, you really jump into AI because you have no choice.
Why is it taking you this long? Kind of thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. What's taking you so long? And I think in my previous podcast, I was also like asked, what was the turning point? I think that's the turning point. So when you lose your business, I think it's when, you realize, okay, what do I need to do next? And that's realizing that AI wasn't, I would say it was a threat for us because we've lost our business. But at the end of the day, if you know how to like literally leverage AI for yourself and for your business, that could have saved the business rather than losing it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. No, it's a really, really interesting point you make. It's one of those ones where you kind of need to make that judgment call, especially as a business owner. You know, when is the right time to pull the trigger versus holding off? And I suppose that a really good segue to the next question is, in your mind, if a business owner waits, let's say 6 months, what is a
Yeah.
real risk for them to kind of for their business? Is it pipeline or margin or client trust or a bit of everything? What's the risk that they are missing out on if they don't adopt this AI concept?
That's true. I mean, I think any business owners who's listening right now should at least be able to find that specific, let's say, job or task that are very much repetitive in their business, because AI is absolutely coming for that. I mean, if your business or work requires, pretty much judgment, creativity, empathy, or strategy, then definitely AI would be much more valuable into your business. And you just have to find a way to be able to adapt to that. Or just like me, you'd probably lose that business that you cared for and love for years, right?
Yeah. Look, I mean, one door closes, another one opens, right? So you've
Yes.
obviously turned things around quite well and then some. So, we talk about, what happens when people miss out or don't adopt and things like that. Did you ever get anybody that pushed back when you were sort of thinking about, okay, I need to get onto this AI thing? Was there anyone any sort of situation where you felt like, okay, mate, is it really the right thing? And was there, looking back now, was there their hesitation or their pushback
In using AI.
fair? Yeah, in adopting AI in your business.
Because like I said, mainly my goal was to provide like jobs to people. My vision has always been to provide 500,000 jobs to Filipinos. My first hesitation was when I learned about AI, I was so afraid that it's going to replace everybody and it would be too hard for me to like provide that many jobs because of AI. So in the beginning, my hesitation was more on the part where, oh, will this replace us? Or, oh, well, no, will this prevent me from being able to provide jobs? So my hesitation was because I was so afraid, because I feel like obviously this will take a lot of people's job. So that was my hesitation, honestly. But then after realizing that, well, technically, the only people that will get replaced by AI are the ones that are not using it. That's when, the mindset shift. Oh, okay. So I technically shouldn't be afraid, but rather I should learn how to teach people how to use AI so they can still keep their jobs, or to be able for me to provide more jobs, right? So, yes, there were a lot of hesitations. I would tell you that. It took me over a year to use AI, honestly.
Wow.
Yeah, like I was so hard headed, like, oh, no, this is not going to replace me, or no, I'm not going to use this. And then eventually I gave in.
Well, see, you're the perfect guest on this podcast. This is exactly why we started this, for that exact mindset to shift, right? And so you, having lived and breathed that for the best part of 12 months, being against, or not, maybe not against it, but being hesitant about adopting AI, and now
Absolutely.
into everything that you do, like, you're the perfect guest for us already on this podcast. Exactly. So, okay. So we've talked about the moment that it's, that struck you and it clicked and you said, yeah, okay, I've got to get onto this. Well, let's dive into the model now. So, like, what would you say is your three main principles for making AI useful, without sort of making it sound too overwhelming or it being too overwhelming in your line of work, in what you do in helping a
Mhm.
lot of the agency owners or up and coming agency owners? What would you say three main principles that they would need to consider when adopting the AI capability?
I think number one would be clarity before AI, because I've seen a lot of business owners who would right away jump into AI without actually thinking what's in it for me, right? Like, I mean, AI will not provide you clarity. You should know exactly what you want to build. Like, I mean, I've seen so many people who want to jump into AI, but they don't know exactly what they want. I mean, they wanted to use AI. I mean, I've met so many clients tell me like, "Hey, I want to use AI for my business." And I'm like, "Sure, we can do that, but what
What does
specifically
that
are we
mean?
trying to build?" Right? Like, are we trying to build like an agent like, AI agents for your business to take calls. Like, it has to have some clarity. I mean, if you know your goals, if you know exactly what problem you're trying to solve with AI, then AI is going to be able to give you fast, but obviously a very much efficient output. But if you don't know exactly what you're building, then AI will just give you fast but useless output. I mean, I've seen people build like chat GPTs, but then realizing that it's not that much very useful to their business. So like there's no certain clarity. So for me, the first thing that they would have to consider, which I did consider when I was starting using AI, was making sure that you have some clarity over using AI. I mean, clarity before AI. Know what you need, and then AI will do the rest for you. So there has to be that clarity for you first. And then I guess two, so three, right? Maybe use AI to remove friction, not responsibility. So
That's a good one.
I've also seen a lot of people where they want AI to do a lot of things, but then the thing is AI should handle the busy work, right? Like human needs to handle the judgment because human knows better. I mean, we know if AI is providing us the wrong information. So for example, I would use AI to like tell me how to resolve a certain issue in HighLevel, but then as a person who's been using HighLevel for a while, I know that AI is providing me incorrect information because I'm like, hey, this doesn't exist inside of HighLevel. Why are you suggesting this information, right? So for me, as a human, technically, we would handle the judgment, we would handle the information that is provided to us by AI. We analyze, meaning let AI do the job of drafting, providing you information, feeding you information, summarizing, organizing. But at the end of the day, decisions wise, ethics wise, pricing relationship, that needs to stay with us. So if someone like let's do AI or let's do AI, decide everything, then they're not empowered. They're literally just outsourcing to robots. So for me, we have to use AI to remove friction, like not the responsibility of doing the due diligence in using AI. And
Yeah.
then I guess number three, which I've done a lot that also helped me in my business, especially in my community, is to learn in public but improve in private. I think somebody like commented in one of my posts that says, "Oh, that is like probably the he she commented something that's very offending, but I just don't care, because she said like, oh, you were using AI, so like." I would say, how
It's
did
not
she
real.
say? Like, yeah, not real, or she was just saying stuff that, oh, I don't use AI for something better. I was like, you know what? I'm just learning AI. So I'm learning it publicly so I can share people the experience and to let them. I think it was the Christmas
Yeah.
photos. Like it was
Ah,
a
okay. Yeah,
Christmas
yeah, yeah.
photos that went around this
Yes.
December, and people are just copying the prompt and then they make their own photos. I don't know if you did that. I
I
mean,
didn't end up doing it, but
yeah,
I
I don't
went the
think
other
you
way and
did.
just completely
Yes,
animated in general, but not the Christmas
right.
one. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, so somebody commented something like, "Yeah, that's the most like, or that's the petty way to use AI." And I was like, "At least we're trying, right?"
yeah.
So, I mean, for me, you don't need mastery to start. You just need to be able to learn in public, but then again, be able to improve what you know in AI in private, because I think at the very least we have the responsibility to encourage our community to also like experiment, to test what they can do with AI without a shame. So even if it's just a photo that you can edit with AI, that's a start. So for me, learn in public and then improve in private. At the end of the day, people who's using AI, even if it's with just petty photo, are like ahead of the other people because other people still don't know how to use AIs. Yeah, for me, those are the three, I guess, things that I would, keep in mind.
That's so powerful. I really, yeah. I mean, three great points. I loved the first one. I loved all three, but I loved the first one and the third one. There, clarity is absolutely critical. I mean, you're absolutely right. There's no point diving into a new technology, a new capability, if you don't actually know what you want. You're absolutely right. I was talking to another guest on a previous episode, and we talked about how they had a sales call, and they were trying to sort of understand from the buyer or the lead what it is that they want. And they came in with, yeah, I want to sign up for the voice AI capability because they initially started off saying, yeah, I need it. And then when you start to lift up the carpet, ask them a few more questions. Okay, so how many calls are you receiving right now a day? Are you struggling to pick them up, or are you missing them, or whatever it is? And they were just like, oh, I get like 3 calls a day. He was asking, well, do you miss any of them? And he's like, no, no. I was like, well, then why do you need why do you need a voice AI capability? It's like, oh, because it's cool.
It's cool.
It's
Yeah.
it's it is still very much the feeling of almost like a gimmick. And I think Australia is traditionally, and I say this all the time, Australia traditionally has been, and it continues to be, a little bit reluctant
Behind.
when it comes to new technology
Yeah.
adoption, and a bit apprehensive. Yes. People still see it as, a lot of business owners, a lot of people still see it as like a gimmick, like it's still something cool, which
For sure.
arguably to an extent it is. And I think it's still because it is a relatively new concept, and it's forever evolving, right? But yeah, the clarity is really critical before you do anything else. And then the last piece that you talked about making sure that you're trying things in public, and you're evolving in private. Like, I think that's so powerful.
Yeah.
If there's any message that people take from today's this episode, is, I think it can be that one, because I implement that myself as well. I'm very happy to sort of try things, and like we all are, and I think that's part and parcel of everyone's journey. But then upskilling, and teaching yourself, or like enhancing your skill set and everything, do it yourself, do it internally, and then come back and say, okay, look, now this is what I can do. Now let's try a new thing, right? So that's
Yeah.
something that I think is really, really powerful, and it's aligned so well with what you do in the Filipino community over there in all your teaching. So yeah, that's really, really powerful. Thank you for sharing that.
Absolutely.
So
I mean, those three things is something that I guess, learned along the way, like learning it, and as well as like observing people, how they react and use AI at the moment.
For sure. No, that's wonderful. Yeah, thank you for that. And so, okay, so we talk a lot about adoption, and what are the things we can do, and what things to look out for. One question I ask guests is, where do you see AI? Where do you see that we shouldn't be using AI, or in your business, or in the work that you do? We've kind of so far had a bit of a common answer, but I'm curious to sort of hear from you, and from your perspective, about where AI doesn't work or shouldn't work
Mhm.
in your space.
I think we all know this already, but for sure, it's the relationship that we have with people, because no matter what, AI can do the job, can do the task for you, can eliminate some of the things that you are doing on a daily basis. But at the end of the day, when your product, or when trust is the product, and I'm talking about my community, because my product is trust, it's community. So for me, if the out affects trust, accountability, relationships, or safety, then I don't think that AI is able to like decide on that alone, right? So at the end of the day, AI shouldn't really be used in human interactions. At the moment, honestly, I'm still like against, like, really, when AI would have to just take over a lot of customer interactions, because at the end of the day, people would like to be heard. They would like to be talking to an actual human, because when empathy matters more than efficiency, and I believe AI can simulate empathy, but it doesn't feel it. So for me, if we're talking about maybe things that requires empathy, I believe that human still needs to take over those conversations. And at the moment, if we talk about like which ones AI cannot or should not replace, it's still always be, maybe like medicine advice. Because I've seen a lot of people like just taking a photo of their wounds, asking AI to like see, okay, what do I, you know, what is this? Can you tell me what to do? I think AI shouldn't really be taking over those maybe legal decisions, financial, anything sensitive, HR or people decisions. So anything that are related to that, I don't think AI should really be take over.
Yeah, no, that's really interesting point you make. Yeah, I mean, we get a similar answer from everybody around relationships and that human interaction. But one good point, I always ask the question, because everybody has a different perspective on that. Although it's a similar answer, we all have different perspectives on what
Yeah.
type of relationship, or where it works. And one thing that you called out, which is really important for people to know, is yeah, you wouldn't want to be having AI, draft up your contracts for you, or like from a legal
Yes.
perspective, or provide medical advice, as you said. I mean, that still astounds me that somebody is asking
Like, just
about a
take a
wound or
photo of your
something.
wound. Ask AI, what is
Not
this?
going to the not going to the doctors. I mean, yeah, like that's yeah, I don't know. That's doesn't sit right with me. So yeah, that's really critical. I think in that we need to be careful about where and how we use and adopt AI, and it's for all its good things. You rightfully said it is still very much in its infancy, and or at least
True.
in this form in its infancy. Also, yeah, you don't want to be 100% reliant on it either, right? That removes that the human element of it. It is quite scary. So
Yeah,
yeah,
true.
that's really powerful.
Yeah, I think AI is really, really powerful at a point, but power without judgment is like really dangerous, right? Especially with
There you go.
medical advices, legal advices. I mean, these are critical things that we need professionals to be taking over, not AI. So, I mean, I've just seen a lot of things. Although I know that there are a lot of law that are being passed now to be able to like moderate or to have like ethical AIs in place to make sure that AI wouldn't really provide medical or legal, advices to people, which is, I think,
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. All right, great. So we've talked about the moment. We've talked about your model and how you utilize it and implement it in your line of work. Now let's get into the mandates. What is if anybody's an aspiring agency owner or they're already an existing agency owner, whether they're in
Mhm.
the Philippines or Australia or wherever else people are listening into, or even business owners, doesn't necessarily need to be agency owners. What would you say is one action that they can take, which will take them less than 30 minutes? The first thing after they hear this podcast, what's the next thing that you think somebody should be doing if they want to start to look at adopting AI into their business?
Just like what I mentioned earlier, I think it's really being able to learn in public. What I say is, like just start picking like one AI task that you think you can actually do or is able to do. So, for example, you can play around like how you can edit photos with AI using prompts. So, I realized that if you want to go ahead and do that, you can also. So, one of the things that I've learned learning AI or using AI is that if you want AI to do something for you, you show it. Like it's important that you tell or not just tell but show it to AI. So for example, there's this image that I want to replicate. I will upload it to AI and tell it like, "Hey, can you tell me what prompt I can use to replicate this exact image?" And then AI provides me the answer and now I am able to build the prompt. So I don't even have to know the prompt because you can literally upload the photo and tell AI analyze this and then at the same time give me the full prompt so I can actually come up with the same thing. And it works. For me, it's working that way because if I'm able to show AI what I want, then it provides that that information to me back. So for me, I think AI is, I would say this, it is not like doing or is not about doing everything. It's about freeing us to do what only humans can actually do. So for me, if you want to like just get started, one of the thing is, like I said, just pick one. Whether that's image editing through AI, whether that's video editing using AI, or even if it's automation with AI. So you just have to pick one thing that you have to spend at least 30 minutes of your day learning. Go into different Facebook groups, go into YouTube, learn that one thing for 30 minutes a day, and you'd be amazed and surprised like how better you're going to be in the next couple of days. Right. So I think if anyone has read like the book for building habits, like atomic habits, you'd learn that if you consistently do one thing in the next couple of weeks, maybe like 2 weeks, then you're gonna be so good at it. So if you're like a graphic designer, then maybe like learn how you can improve that certain skill with AI.
Perfect. Perfect. That sounds great. That sounds great. All right. And you would have seen many buzzwords in your time that people throw around, especially in the AI space. In your mind, what is the most overrated buzzword that you just hear, but then you now like completely disregard, and what do you focus on instead?
Overrated buzzword for AI.
Yeah.
There's actually a lot.
Pick
But
one.
I
Pick, just give us your most overrated.
Well, if we're using AI to an actual sentence, I would always hear like the word no hype, no
Yeah. Yeah.
fear, right? So these are like the common thing that you would normally see as a buzzword. But for me, what's overrated about AI now is that people think, especially business owners, think that AI is a magic solution. Like, oh, I have AI, and I thought like this is like gonna be a magic solution to have an instant success for my business. For me, I think that's really overrated because without context, judgment, AI just literally just produces fast mediocrity. So if someone expects AI to think for them, then I'm sure they'll be disappointed. So yeah, AI is not a magic solution because I've always been hearing that a lot from a lot of people like, hey, AI is gonna solve everything for me. I no longer need people, right? I mean, we've seen like who all of a sudden made like huge decision to remove their staff, like hundreds of employees, and then all of a sudden they regret doing it because then they realize that AI can't do everything for them. So instead of a success, it's a loss for their business. So I think yeah, that for me is one of the most overrated for AI. But the buzzword, no hype.
All
I
right.
see that a lot. Yeah.
That's so good. I like that. Yeah, it's a really good point you make about businesses, letting people go in terms of, and then, replacing them with AI, and then having the realization later that actually we need people to operate it, and we need people
Right.
to support it, and we need people
Exactly.
to prompt it, right? So yeah, that's a really interesting and critical point for people not to miss. Okay, cool. All right. Well, look, we've done the serious stuff. Now we did say at the top that this is a very lighthearted as well a podcast. So the next section, the next segment, what we call Turbo Takes. This is where our spin on Fast Five or like it's rapid fire questions. Where we give you 5 questions and just the first thing that comes to your mind, just spit it out, and we'll see how quirky. And feel free to be as quirky as you need to be as
Go.
well. So yeah, there's
I
no
like
rules
that.
in this
I'm
one.
excited.
Yeah, there's no rules in this section. So we can be as open and grand as you like. So first one is finish off the sentence. AI is for,
For everyone.
and humans are for.
For humans are for humans.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah. One thing you will never automate and why?
Relationship. Relationship, as I mentioned earlier, it's because AI don't have empathy. I mean, yes, it can, but it wouldn't really replace that. So for me, I would always like keep relationship because, like I said, human is for human, so might as well don't automate it.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay. Your seatbelt rule in 5 words.
Oh, which one?
Your seatbelt rule. So one rule that you abide by in 5 words
Mm.
or that you would never change.
Being honest all the time and making sure. So, I mean, for me, it's literally just being honest. And my tagline for the business is to do more, do better as well. It's to making sure that, yes, you do more, do better, but at the same time, being honest in everything that you do and every relationship that you have. So, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. There's 5 words. Be honest all the time. There's your
Yeah.
five
Be
words.
honest.
Perfect.
Yeah. Be honest all the time. Yeah.
Amazing. All right. Speed or quality? Which one?
Quality, yes. I would always just ask more time rather than just provide something that is not going to be useful. So definitely quality over quantity or speed.
Amazing. Okay. Yeah, we always get an interesting perspective on that one. So that's always a bit of a curveball. That one. There's no right
Or
or
you
wrong
can
answer
actually
really.
do both now with AI. So you can
Well,
do.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what one thing that AI is able to do for us because before you cannot really produce a product that's fast, affordable, and as well as with quality. But this time around with AI, you're able to do all of them because you can now produce products that are quality but fast.
absolutely, absolutely. Yes. No, that's spot on. All right. And the final one. If I gave you a blank mug, coffee mug or tea
Mhm.
mug, whatever your choice of beverage is, what's the one quote that you will get printed on that mug?
Of course, my tagline: "Do more, do better."
Love it. Do more, do better. Love it.
Yes.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Cece, it's been great to have you on our podcast. Hopefully you've had a good time. And I know everybody listening and watching this, if anybody has been on the fence about, wanting to learn high level or join the agency world, the SaaS world, I'm sure after they have heard this and watched this podcast, they will definitely sign up to you If they're in the Philippines, anybody that's watching or listening in the Philippines, if you don't know who CC is yet, or that's a problem, but surely after listening and watching this, make sure you reach out and connect. She does some amazing work in educating that community, but also just the global high level community as well. CC, it's been a pleasure to have you on. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me live. And I really love all the questions and the energy. So, I mean, I really had so much fun. And yes, if anybody is wanting to connect, I'm always on Facebook. Just search Jaycee Tan with the blue check mark so you don't get scammed. But yeah, would be happy to connect with anyone who's looking to start their SaaS agency in the Philippines. Yeah, thank you so much, Kartik. I really had fun. Thank you so much.
No, absolutely. Thank you. We'll put all the links in the podcast, in all the channels. Check it out as well, and down below. Thank you, CC, again. Thanks everyone for listening. Yeah, please subscribe on YouTube and podcast, Apple Podcast, Spotify, all of the different things. We'd love to get your support, and share it to your family and friends as well if you're interested. And anybody who wants to be a guest on our show as well, please reach out as well. We'd love for you to jump on and share your experience too. Thanks everyone for watching and listening. We'll see you next week.